In April 2003, adventurer Aaron Ralston was climbing alone in a canyon when he suddenly slipped. As he fell, a massive boulder shifted, pinning his right arm against the rock wall. The shock left him dazed. By the time he understood what had happened, he was trapped at the bottom of a narrow canyon. He pulled desperately, but the harder he struggled, the tighter the stone clamped down on his arm. Gritting through the pain, he tried using his left hand to move the boulder. He put every ounce of strength into it. The rock did not budge. No matter what he tried, it was as if the boulder had been cemented into place. He wanted to rest, but the pressure on his arm felt like it would crush the bone. Wave after wave of pain surged through him. In desperation, he screamed for help, but the vast canyon was empty. No people, not even wildlife. No rescue was coming. Alone and cut off from the world, he knew he had to save himself. He inventoried what he had in his backpack: a climbing rope, a camcorder, a watch, a small folding knife, and less than half a bottle of water. Right now, the knife was his only real hope. He began chiseling at the canyon wall, trying to chip away the rock around his trapped arm. But after a short while, his hand grew sore. Hours passed. All he had managed to scrape off were a few insignificant stone fragments. Then, in a careless moment, the knife slipped from his hand and fell into a narrow crack. He bent down in panic but couldn't reach it. He removed his sock, found a stick, and used his toes to grip it, carefully fishing for the knife. At last, he managed to hook it back, but the blade was already dull. With no other choice, he began sharpening it against the rock. From daylight into deep night, he ground the blade. His throat was burning. He hadn't had a single drop of water all day. He carefully unscrewed the cap and took the smallest possible sip, letting it linger in his mouth as if savoring something precious. After standing so long, his legs were beginning to give out. He needed another solution. He took one of his climbing cams and tossed it upward again and again, trying to hook it onto a protruding rock. After dozens of attempts, it finally caught. He tied the other end of the rope around his waist, shifting some of his body weight off his crushed arm. At last, he could rest, if only for a moment. Morning light filtered into the canyon. He prodded his trapped arm with the knife. There was no feeling. After 24 hours pinned in place, the tissue inside was already dying. What worried him even more was the water supply. Less than 300 milliliters remained. He abandoned the idea of chiseling through the rock. The blade was worn flat. Night fell again. This time he was smarter. He tied everything he had onto his body to conserve warmth. He opened his last packet of bread and ate slowly, tiny bite by tiny bite. After finishing it, he couldn't resist taking another minuscule sip of water. To preserve fluids, on the third day, he forced himself to keep thinking there had to be a way out.